consciousness, and empower lives.
Love heals in every circumstance. It has the remarkable ability to mend and transform us. Love offers us support, comfort, and a sense of connection. It is a powerful force that can help heal emotional wounds, foster resilience, and inspire personal growth. Love can be a crucial part of any healing crisis. It often works more deeply when combined with other resources and efforts. Love can come in the most gentle ways. It is an essence I can feel and I can know. Through love arises hope, faith, and possibilities. And I often feel lighter and brighter. Today, by living love, I'm going to inspire individuals to make positive changes in their lives, whether it's adopting healthier habits, seeking therapy, or pursuing personal growth. Through love, I'm going to encourage empathy, understanding, and forgiveness in myself and others, helping to resolve conflicts and mend broken bonds. I know that my true abundance is to live as love and to express as love. All is well when I am living love. From Unity Spiritual Center, Ottawa, and Unity Kitchener, with love.
All right. We both, Unity Kitchener and Unity Ottawa, have the theme of love this year. And many of us believe that love heals in every circumstance. When you align it with will, there are some things that are very possible, evident. For instance, love, when guided with the power of will, can become an intentional force, not merely a passive feeling. The will directs love to transcend fleeting emotions and transform it into a conscious choice, a commitment to nurture and grow even in difficult times. And it can be hard to want to choose growth when you hurt, but it is so wonderful to try, and it leads to great expansion. It's through the strength of will that love remains steadfast, weathering the storms of doubt or hardship, knowing that it is built on more than just momentary passion. The power of will allows love to evolve, to choose forgiveness over resentment, and to choose understanding over judgment. It transforms love from a spontaneous reaction into a deliberate action, embodying patience and kindness and deep, deep respect. In this way, will empowers love, guiding it toward a higher, more enduring expression that transcends circumstance. Love is profoundly powerful. So, as you know, we definitely have YouTube channels at Unity Kitchener and Unity Ottawa. We've only said it 1,000 times, but just in case you forgot. What I love is just like going, to me, it's like going to Netflix, because you go into Netflix or Prime or whatever, and you pick the theme of choice for the day. There's hundreds of wonderful Unity talks to choose from, and I love it. It's just where I get my nourishment, and I hope that you too will go to our websites and have a look and see what's up there for you to benefit from this week. So I'm going to move into recording in one moment here. Okay, how do I do that now? I've forgotten. I've been away so long. Just a second. There we go.
This meeting is being recorded.
Wonderful. So our speaker today is Carrie, and Carrie is a Friday Night Spiritual Connection co-host. She's also soon to be a Unity Ottawa board member. And she has this wonderful little puppy named Abby that we all love when we get to spend time with Abby and Carrie. And she has a job with the Canadian Association of the Hard of Hearing. And the reason I'm mixing a couple words up, Carrie, is because my paper was put down while the dogs were making a noise and now I can't find it. So, but I know that today you are talking about a wonderful power of will that you have in great abundance. You have a wonderful presence and a great will. And we're going to hear from you right now. So the floor is yours. You're muted, Carrie.
You forgot to unmute yourself.
Is that better?
Yeah.
Thank you. So let me start over. I'm so happy to be here and so happy to see you all. I have just profound willpower that I have moved my life hundreds of miles when the call from within came. It kind of felt like a choice, but was it? Did I make that choice? As I speak today about searching for God, I wonder, has my spiritual journey been about evolving my strength of will this whole time? Will, as you may know, is one of the 12 creative powers established by Unity Church founders Charles and Myrtle Fillmore. They wanted to help individuals discover their truth and enhance their spiritual lives. In my opinion, the power of will is needed to make any decision you make. Think about it. You get up in the morning, you decide to go to the washroom, you decide to brush your teeth, or you may decide to have chocolate pancakes. So you are constantly making decisions, but are you making the right decision? The power of will is the ability to choose, lead, and decide. And Unity teachings emphasize that God is everywhere and always present. And that divine energy underlines and animates all of our existence. God's will is not about rigid rules or specific outcomes, but rather about living in alignment with the universal principles of love, truth, and harmony. I'm about to begin my talk now on searching for God, my spiritual journey with the power of will. Do you remember when you first learned of God? How old were you? What was your impression? I'm not sure how I learned about God, but at 5 years old, I made a huge decision that God didn't love me anymore and that I was on my own. I was in kindergarten and I missed the teacher saying it was recess time as I was in the washroom. I came out to an empty classroom and I couldn't find anybody. I looked and they were all outside. That was 55 years ago, and I still remember making that decision. How could God love me if I was left alone like that? Looking back, I know that decision was made based on childhood trauma and hearing loss that I had no words for at that time. Since then, I have been on a quest to find God. I had the will of a 5-year-old to make a major life decision. I had little to no experience attending church as a young child. The story is that I was not baptized in the United Church because my father was an alcoholic and did not go to church. I lived in a small farming community where everybody knows everybody. And then I do remember in grade 5, we were given this little red Bible. I was so proud of it. I was so excited. Did I read it? I don't remember. And then when I was in my early teens, my grandmother had these stories in comic form. It would be like graphic novels these days. And it was all about stories from the Bible. And she would let me borrow one book at a time. I wish I could remember what they were called. It would have been in the mid 70s, late 70s. But all that was me searching for God. I moved to Toronto to go to college when I was 17. My quest for God got overtaken with a rather busy and hectic life. While I did well in college, I started to struggle mentally and did not know how to even acknowledge it. I was struggling with my hearing loss identity. Suddenly, it was more of an issue than ever before. Looking back, I can see that I had undiagnosed PTSD, post-traumatic stress disorder. I was always on, even when I was not working. It was like I was wearing a mask to show everyone that I was just fine. And for the fact that I was actually hiding what was happening inside of me, what I was feeling. It would have been so nice to have a murder grimoire in my life at that time. Someone who could look at me in my eyes, tell me and show me how to reconnect with God. And this is one of Murder's quotes. And she was showing you earlier, Murder had a little booklet called Mornings with Murder Fillmore. And here it goes. Your prosperity comes through you instead of to you. And if it seems not to come, that is because you have thrown up some barriers that prevent its unfoldment through your own consciousness. Only your own changed mental attitude and living habits can cause you to work with God's mind in bringing about transformation. And you will see how that impacted my life. Or if I would have had her, that would have been awesome. But I'm glad I have her now. And I was in my mid-20s when the mask I was wearing started to have hairline cracks. I knew I needed help, and I went to my family doctor. And I was given time off for sick leave. I reached out to the Canadian Hearing Services, and after an initial interview, I was also referred to a psychotherapist. There began a difficult, challenging, and a scary recovery journey. Once I started therapy, all my self-contained emotions came pouring out. I overdosed shortly after my first visit with my therapist. I had no skills on how to turn the tap off. I was put on meds, and that helped me to stabilize a bit. I continued unhealthy coping mechanisms for many years until I was diagnosed with PTSD, a major depressive disorder. I had a few inpatient stays in treatment centers. And during this time, I processed childhood trauma that I had completely blocked out. It was now returning to me in fragments, a little bit of a time. But you know what? Here I am with 30 plus years of recovery under my belt, and I have never felt better. My mask rarely makes an appearance. Even with all my setbacks, I always bounce back up and continue. I knew that, sorry. I knew, excuse me. I have allergies. Even with all my setbacks, I always bounced back up and continued. I knew the journey would lead me somewhere. I had hope. I had strength. I had wisdom. I had understanding, and I had imagination. Charles from Charles, no man. Okay. Charles Fillmore has this great quote on I'm going to mute myself for a second.
Maybe have some water, not cream in your coffee.
Okay, I think I'm good to go now. Thank you for waiting. I had hope, I had strength, I had wisdom, I had understanding, and I had imagination. Charles Fillmore had this great quote on imagination. Imagination gives the man, imagination gives the man the ability to project himself through time and space and rise above all limitations. When I discovered Unity, it was in Toronto. I went there for 5 years before moving to Ottawa. And that was about 25 years ago. I don't remember too much as I was still in the midst of my recovery. But in my heart, I knew I was in the right place. When I moved to Ottawa, well, let's just say I did attend one church service, and it was a smaller congregation than in Toronto. I could hide in a crowd in Toronto and not in Ottawa. I never went back. I was still struggling with self-image and confidence. And then in 2024, I found myself struggling again, and I could not put a finger on it. I went to see my therapist as I was feeling low, and I wondered if my medications were not working properly. I would refer to someone who would go over my meds, that I would have a 3-month wait. I felt something was pulling strings on my heart. Next thing I know, I'm on the internet searching for Unity Church, and I sent an email off to inquire about service. I heard back from Rev G, and she gave me the link for the next service. I joined, and I was so moved by that talk that I was actually crying during fellowship time. It was a combination of feeling that I'd come home spiritually and that I was not alone. And let me tell you, when the 3 months was up, I got a phone call saying to give me an appointment, and I told them that I no longer needed the appointment. And I explained that I needed spirituality, and that's what I needed. That I've also made some pretty good decisions. Thanks to my power of will. But coming back to Unity has saved me in so many ways. I immediately started to attend field groups, and then I went to attend Rev T's Healing and Wholeness groups, which actually became Friday Night Spiritual Connections. And to borrow a phrase from Dr. Ann, Unity gave me tools, not rules. That helped me to grow spiritually and to blossom where I am today. And I'm not done yet. I have been taking courses towards becoming a licensed Unity teacher. And Rev C has seen leadership skills in me, and I have been grateful for the opportunity to help out on Friday nights at our spiritual connections group and to help facilitate services and now to give talks. And here's another quote that will show how God has helped uplift my spirit in the past year and a half. And it's by one of Unity's greatest authors, Eric Butterworth. There is no such thing as a lack of faith. We all have plenty of faith. It's just that we have faith in the wrong things. We have faith in what can't be done rather than what can be done. We have faith in lack rather than abundance. But there is no lack of faith. Faith is the law. And faith is another power of the 12 powers. I love it. And Unity teachings have encouraged me to cultivate a conscious awareness of my thoughts and feelings and to choose to align them with the universal principles that I believe are God's will. This involves practicing positive thinking, releasing limiting beliefs, and cultivating a sense of trust in the divine process. It's also been about recognizing that I am a co-creator with God and that I have the power to manifest my highest potential and create a life of purpose and joy. How have you guided your life to unfold, allowing God's will through? Is there still anything you want to unravel with God? What steps could you take this week to get a little closer to hearing God's will for you? I trust more than ever that I have aligned my will with God's. And all those years of the indwelling God knocking at my door to get right where I am today and the right timing to expand my leadership has proven to me that I have always had immense will. And I look forward to years of continuing to bring it forward as I share with you how God inspired me. I am no longer searching for God. I am home.
Thank you, Carrie. That was a very meaningful, touching talk. And we will move into a meditation.
The recording has stopped.
We enter into deep spiritual awareness, breathing easily, gently drawing upon the power of God within, retreating from all concerns. May we know we are immersed in universal intelligence and infinite love. May we know our oneness with God as we pray. Peace is mine as I rest in this timeless moment. As I exhale, I soften and still and rest. I remember the power in this moment, the power of God that is my security. I trust the widening arc of peace within and around me, a cushion for relief and rest. Nothing can disturb me. Everything draws me to peace. Every cell in my body is full of divine life. In the harmony of prayer, my heart beats to the rhythm of God. The pulse of infinite life is a continual flow. I attune to divine intelligence within every part of my body in reverence. With each breath, I affirm life, wholeness, and well-being. By the power of divine order, I easily adjust to changing conditions. Easily and effortlessly, in the breath before each action, I draw upon divine order. I shift my perspective. I veer around seeming obstacles. I see alternative paths ahead of me. I celebrate the vast possibilities for my life, all within reach by the innate power of divine order. I am in tune with universal intelligence within and around me. Let me be aware of the amazing, wondrous reality of divine wisdom. I am attuned to inner guidance. All my faculties are turned on. I listen for a subtle yet certain sense of direction. I live in confidence, every step in trust. Where I go, wisdom flows. My thoughts and actions contribute to harmony in the world. I can never be separated out from the world around me. I am one with God, one with all of life. I pray in peace. I pray in harmony. I raise my thought vibration to bless the world with harmony and compassion, from which my actions flow. In gratitude for our growing spiritual awareness and in appreciation of our collective contribution to the world, we close this period of prayer with a commitment to be present in the moments ahead, present to peace, present to life, present to order, and present to wisdom. Together, let us recite the prayer for protection. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. The presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is.